According to Minister of Governance Raphael Trotman, government will address issues surrounding the One Laptop Per Family project, Guyoil and the Lotto Funds. Sasha Ramsaran reports.
It is known that the One Laptop Per Family initiative was a part of the previous government's manifesto. However, there have been claims that the new government has gone on a witch hunt to remove a number of employees at the OLPF office in Georgetown. This misconception was clarified by the Honorable Minister of Governance, Raphael Trotman, during a post-cabinet media briefing held on July 29th.
Well, I can only repeat what Minister Harmon has already stated, and that is that as he perused the documents and the files and the offices that manage the One Laptop for Family program, he found that no work absolutely was going on. There was nothing being shared out. There were tons of computers stacked up that were faulty for different reasons, and that government could not, in all good conscience, continue to pay. I mean, it hurts indeed, but it was not a political decision. We just could not continue to pay staff that was not doing anything. We are aware that a batch of computers were in fact ordered and are on their way. Cabinet has had a discussion about taking care of teachers in this batch, so immediately it moves from one laptop per family to one laptop perhaps per teacher, but it has to be tied to programs that ensure that these teachers use them effectively for training, for improving their methodologies, for delivering their curricula in a more faster electronic manner. So that is still being streamlined. As to how many people were dismissed, I'm not sure. I'd have to get clarification on that from Minister Harmon, because that is not a matter under my portfolio. I don't believe that Minister Harmon would be so unwise as to let go of every single person, because they're critical staff. You must have a skeletal staff remaining to take care of day-to-day matters where they arise, and to, of course, prepare for the second batch of computers that are going to come in.
He was also asked to provide an update on the Guyoil investigation, as well as the status of the Lotto Funds, and whether it would be made a part of the consolidated funds.
The Guyoil investigation is ongoing. Of course, you're not just looking at a snapshot of a year, you're looking at several years, and you're looking at many aspects, from employment practices to financial accountability and so forth. So that is ongoing. A new board has been announced. It will be headed by Mr. Lance Carberry, who is a former board member and therefore familiar with the operations of the agency. But I don't believe that I can say that we are about to reveal that we've uncovered anything. That's not to say that nothing is there to be uncovered. Insofar as the Lotto Funds are concerned, the Minister of Finance is adamant and has the full support of Cabinet that those, as of the end of this year, will now flow into the consolidated fund. So many of these things just required a statement or a directive from the subject minister, and that directive has been issued. So come the 2016 budget, we'll find that Lotto Funds would be included in the consolidated fund. I did receive a figure, but offhand I can't speak precisely on it. What we did find is that many agencies drew on this fund for various matters, training, travel, attendance at conferences and so forth. While that may not be a bad way to go, we believe that it needed some streamlining, and there should have been some protocols put in place in terms of how and who and when. And for what specific purposes. As you know, the fund should be taking care of communities and building pools and making sure that little boys and girls grow up to be champion swimmers and tennis players if they so desire. Taking care of culture. You know, every year we see in Mashaman, we see what appear to bands calling themselves masquerade bands and have very little to do with the old traditions. And I think that is where the fund should have been utilized for the sustaining of the culture and the arts. But we didn't see, even if it was spent, we don't think that we got value for money. So individual agencies will now be making requests of from the consolidated fund for monies to be spent from it, rather than just assigning their expenses to that fund.
The minister was adamant that the Lotto funds should flow into the consolidated funds and that it will now be utilized for its intended purpose, which is to establish and maintain important infrastructure for the people of Guyana. Sasha Ramsaran reporting for Channel 8 News.